If you'd like to see how I created this memorial keepsake gift with a Dollar Tree mirror, resin, and some signed vinyl, keep watching this video.
Hey YouTube! So today I'm going to be working with some epoxy resin. The brand I'm using is called Super Clear Tabletop Epoxy. And I've already began the stirring and mixing process of it. For the sake of the video, I didn't want it to be too long and drawn out, so I already marked my cups and poured in my measurements. So I'm just stirring this up right now, really good. And make sure you wear gloves. This stuff is very, very powerful. I'm wearing a mask right now, so you probably can tell. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to fill up this heart. This picture is a really good friend of mine and her dad, and he recently passed away. Her birthday is coming up and she's having a surprise birthday party, so I wanted to make her like a little cute little plaque with a picture of her and her dad. It's not superb quality because I screenshotted it from her Instagram and I zoomed all the way in and I printed it out at Walgreens, but I think the outcome would be really nice. I'm going to be using this Amazon Basics laminator. It was only about 25 bucks. I bought it probably about a year ago. And I'm going to go ahead and put the photo inside of this lamination sheet.
I have two photos because I didn't know exactly which photo size I needed at first, so I just ordered two from Walgreens to be on the safe side. Now I'm just going to cut out the smaller one and cut closely around it.
Okay, so I have my photo all cut out, and laminating the photo really preserves it very well. So you know, when you make your resin castings, there's like some glitter in here. I took some scotch tape and tried to like get it out. I don't know what that's about, but anyway, you know, the bottom is really the top. So I'm gonna put a little bit of resin in here, then I'm gonna lay this in here like that. Just want to make sure I have it cut very nice and tight, not too tight. You don't want to have too much excess around the edge, but you want to make sure the photo is still sealed. So it'll be like that. Alright, so I've already stirred this. This is my epoxy resin. And you know, with this stuff, you got to be very careful. And I want to say you have about 20 to 30 minutes working time. It really depends. So get to know your epoxy, because you don't want to wait too long and it starts to harden up. So I'm just going to pour some in here. Just like that. And hopefully this surface is really flat. I have it on this plate. Maybe I should take it out of the plate. Want to make sure your surface is very flat. I'm going to kind of press this down in here.
I'm going to take this little plastic fork and I'm going to just press the photo all the way down to make sure the resin is covering up the back of the photo. Then I'll let that sit for a little while. I just want to make sure my photo is fully submerged.
It's just not floating on top. So this will probably most likely serve as like my first layer. So we're just gonna let that sit. But before we leave that, just to kind of get some of those air bubbles. Okay, so we'll let this sit. But before that, I'll take this little lighter torch just to get the bubbles off. Or you could use a heat gun.
I didn't have tons of bubbles, but I just wanted to make sure that everything was as smooth as it possibly could be. So I just took this lighter just to kind of get the bubbles out. And again, like I said, you can use a heat gun if you have one. But that kind of blows things around a lot. So you have to be careful.
So while I'm waiting for that to dry, what I'll do is take a smaller cup of it with some glitter in it, because I know her favorite color is blue. I'm gonna add some blue to it, so when I top this layer off, it'll have blue sparkles in the background.
And I'm going to be adding my second layer to this mold, so I'm just pouring some in a smaller cup.
Okay, so I spilled a little bit of the resin, trying to move this around. Shouldn't have did that, but so far everything still looks good. And what I'm gonna do is just top this off with the blue. I need to hurry up because I feel this warming up and I don't want it to start to harden. So I'm just gonna top this off.
Okay, so now I'm adding my second layer so I can go ahead and top off this little mold here. I know that it wasn't full enough, and I didn't want to overdo it with the glitter in the background, but I definitely wanted there to be something added in the back. I could have just went all clear, but this glitter is so beautiful. I just, of course, wanted to have some type of sparkle in the mix here. So that's what I'm doing right here.
So we'll just let this sit until tomorrow and come back.
I'm adding this lovely blue color because I know that blue is her favorite color. And I'm just going to go ahead and add a nice decent amount and stir this up. And right here, I'm just going to give you an idea of what the program looks like. It's called Silhouette Studio Designer Edition. And I have this here on my laptop. And this is what the actual cutter looks like.
Now the next day. And hopefully this has fully hardened. It definitely sounds like it. This glitter is so sparkly and pretty. So I'm going to start with this side and weed this out or demold this. Okay, good, nice and clear, not very many bubbles over their faces. Then I have the pretty blue in the background because I know that blue is her favorite color. I really like this. And I'm actually headed to her party now. So last minute. So I'm going to take some E6000 now. And I'll insert and show you how I cut this out with my Silhouette Cameo. Hopefully it's not too wide. Just want to kind of smooth that over very well. And what I cut out, it says Forever Daddy's Girl. It's been about 2 months. It's very fresh, brief. Losing a parent is extremely hard. I wish I didn't know how it felt, but I know how it feels. My mother was everything to me, and losing her was, and still is, very hard to deal with. So, and the crazy thing is I still don't have the words. But I know that personalized gifts to keep the memory going and the acknowledgement of someone's loved one that they lost, it means a lot. So I figured this would be a very appropriate gift. Of course I could have made a wine glass or blinged out something like that, and maybe in the future I will. I just thought this was a lot more sentimental and meaningful. So I have this little Dollar Tree mirror. It's a little scuffy for some reason. And I'm going to wipe it off very well. With some alcohol. And I hope this fits on here the way I kind of calculated it in my mind. So I'm going to wipe this off and let this dry. Okay, so this is how I lined it up. Literally just enough room. So I'm going to go ahead and start to put this on. Then I'll glue this down. So it's kind of like a little plaque. Something she can hang up or sit somewhere. I'm going to go ahead and peel this off carefully. Okay. Make sure I line this up good. Sometimes this can be challenging. Okay, I believe that's it. Okay, so that's perfect. I could have went up just a pinch, but it's like literally just enough room. I'm gonna wipe the back of this off with alcohol. Anytime I'm going to glue something, I like to alcohol it first, clean the area. And now I'm going to apply E6000. Okay, so now I'm going to glue this on to the mirror. Don't tell me it's not flat enough. So it's not laying flat enough, and no glue even got on the mirror. Oh boy. What I had to do is just add glue more towards the edge, the upper edge of it. And I'm gonna put a lot of pressure on it, and hopefully that should help. And I'm going to show you the final result.
Okay, you guys, here is the final finished result. At first I was nervous. I didn't think my resin would stick to this mirror. What I ended up doing, like I said, is I added more glue to the very edges of this heart. Then I set something heavy on top. I think I had like a can with some a can of pops, and I sat that heavy kind of like a weight on top of it, and that helped. I let it set for a few moments, and that helped wonderfully. This turned out to be a very special gift, even more special than what I imagined. I did not expect for her to open up her gifts at her party. I was in a hurry and didn't have a card or anything. So I just knew that I would just text her later on and just say, hey, did you get my gift, or something like that. It turns out at some point that she did go over and look through her bags of gifts. And I was over at a table eating with another friend, and I just saw all these people all of a sudden looking at me. And then I looked at her, and she had tears in her eyes, and she was pointing at me, and she was holding the little plaque, my gift that I gave her. And everyone was just telling me how much this gift was so beautiful and that they really liked it. It was very heartwarming. Seeing her cry, of course, it made me tear up a little bit. She told me later on that my gift was the best gift that she received for her birthday, and I'm just very happy about that. Losing a loved one is very traumatizing, and you just really have to be it's hard to say be strong, because you have to be weak sometimes to allow yourself to find your strength. Losing a parent, you kind of lose some of your history. I felt that way when I lost my mom 3 years ago, and almost really close to 4 years ago actually. There's some things that I can't remember, and I want to ask her about myself when I was a little girl, and she was the only one who can answer those questions. So there's some mystery there about myself, and I want to compare myself to my youngest daughter. I just have questions. So you just really have to hold extra tight onto the memories, the photos, the voicemails if you have them, whatever it is that you have, because once someone is gone, they're gone, but they're always in your heart. But it's a different thing when they're here physically. You just have to find another way to love them. And no one, I know I don't have the words. I just like to make people gifts based on how I think it would make them feel, or how I think it would make me feel, what I find appropriate. Like I said, I could have made her a wine glass or, anything. But I really felt like this would be very healing and warming, and it was. So I'm glad I made this, and I wanted to share this with you all. Maybe you could make one for yourselves or someone else that you think, and it doesn't even have to be someone who passed away. You can make one of these of someone who is still here, who's still very much alive and well. So I want to thank you guys for watching this video. If you did enjoy it, give it a thumbs up. I hope you received some inspiration or some cool ideas. Subscribe to this channel if you'd like to. If not, thank you guys so much for stopping by. Bye-bye.